Yo, what's going on everybody? In today's Fire Emblem Engage video, we're going to be going over some new footage that was revealed on YouTube today. So a lot of people got early access to play this game. They got to play a demo version of sorts to be able to get and experience what the game's like, how the new mechanics work, get comfortable with it, and just kind of share with everyone what their thoughts are so far. From everything we've seen on this game, we know that this game is going to be absolutely beautiful. It runs great. It looks very smooth. Looks like it's running a really solid FPS. It's just looking like they did so much to the graphics side of it. But we're not here to talk about all that we already know. What we're here to do is talk about the new mechanics. So as you see on screen now, there is an after battle exploration that you can do on certain or maybe all battle maps. I'm not sure if it's going to apply to story maps, as I haven't seen it on any story maps as of yet, but for basically what was auxiliary battles in Fire Emblem Three Houses, you can do similar things with the world map in this game. As you see on screen now, you can go around and you can adopt different animals you see around, which is a new mechanic, which I find interesting. It's going to get you different resources, which we'll talk about more a little bit later when we get to the farms section of Somniel. But as you go around, you can get different resources. You can adopt these different animals that you see around. There's different requirements for adopting them. At the time of this video, I'm not sure what those requirements are, but it seems to be relevant to different things you have to do around Somniel to be able to upgrade or get different types of animals or more animals. You can do all sorts of things as well on that, whether it's talking with your team, doing support conversations, and such. Now on to the world map. As you can see, you can move around the world map in a really awesome way. We've only seen this in a couple of Fire Emblem games before, like Sacred Stones, and I believe it was Fates as well, but it's very nice to have this mechanic back. It might be Awakening, so please don't quote me. It's been a little while since I've touched those games. Long story short, you can continue to do all sorts of customizations on the world map as well. You don't need to be on Somniel, you don't need to be in a battle to be able to do a lot of these customizations. As you can see on screen, you got ring emblems, you got your inventory, you got all sorts of bonds and different things you can enhance, which is just really fantastic way to really feel more engaged with the game and feel like the game is not just to progress chapter to chapter. You got more you can do, and you can make this game really run as long as you want it to, which is something that you don't normally get out of a Fire Emblem game. Normally, it's pretty linear, and you have a very big limit on how much grinding and other things you can do, whereas this one seems to be removing a lot of those limits. Now, when you get onto Somniel, here's some new gameplay of showing different emblem rings that can be around and how they look. They look like little spirits floating around that you can talk and engage with and build rapport with. You can also go on and explore just like you could in the Academy of Fire Emblem Three Houses, get different resources, go to the armory, go to the item shop, and all of that goodies. But this brand new feature down here is called the farm. This area has a small orchard and a grazing area from what we've seen so far that allows you to have up to 6 animals out in the area. I believe the type of animals you have out is going to allow different types of items to drop and be gathered in here. So depending on what you want, you can pull out different types of animals to get those rewards, presumably. Now don't quote me on that because I haven't had my hands in the game and haven't been able to test this out myself. But this is a cool little feature where you can collect different animals throughout your game and get different resources. Next up, you can go over here to Somniel's Shrine and talk to your little cat buddy. I'm not sure what we're going to call him yet, or if he has an official name, or if you can name him yourself. But you can go interact with him to earn bond fragments, which you probably already know about, which will help with your bond rings, which you'll see at the end of this video. But you can also do a lot of other cool things, which is give them food to increase those bond fragments. You can dress them up, you can pet them. There's a lot of fun little interactions you can do with this guy, but the scarf colors and the accessories are going to be absolutely awesome. You'll see some glasses here, you'll see a top hat later, some awesome things you can do with your little pet there on Somniel. Next up, we have Dining, which is a returning feature from Fire Emblem Three Houses, which was also included in Fire Emblem Three Hopes. This is an absolutely simple feature, as you can see, but has lots of depth and lots of customization depending on which different party members go to dinner together and what kind of food they're eating and what extra ingredients you add. So you can add up to 2 extra ingredients for this specific dish. I do not know if it varies per dish at this time. You can add an extra topping as well. From those, I believe that's going to add extra increases to your stats that you're getting boosted. How this works in this game is after you eat a meal, those two characters are going to get an effect that's going to boost them, whether it's defense, resistance, strength, etc. They've also refined fishing quite a bit in this game and made it a lot more in depth for a better experience overall than 3 houses. Your little top hat boy can definitely go fishing with you, and he'll assist you in catching those fish. Once you have got a fish hooked, you're going to need to pull back on the L, and you're going to just simply get it in that little area, and then you're going to need to press A to kind of pull it back and get a little resistance on it. It's going to get stunned multiple times, and then when you're done, you hit that A when the ring is covering the other ring, and there you go, you caught a fish. I'm sure certain fish are going to be much more difficult and tedious and take longer to do. After that, we have the awesome item shop. This is very similar to all other games in the past, but has some new items that I don't even fully understand myself at this time. But let's go into what I do. So you can select your character and you can buy different staffs and different vulneraries, antitoxins, pure water, torch, things we've seen before. But you also have these tonics, which we have not seen before. The tonics, I assume, are going to increase the stats temporarily per match, which sounds pretty interesting if I do understand that correctly. Per battle, it's going to add a couple of stat boosts to whatever character uses them, so that can be very useful for long-term battles or for battles you're struggling with. You also have the armory, which allows you to buy weapons for your characters. Weapons do not break, so that is really, really awesome. There is a certain number of each type of weapon that you can buy. For special weapons, you're going to only be able to buy a limited amount of them throughout each chapter, from my understanding, similar to older games, like javelins will only be able to be bought in spare cities, so you do not have so much range for all of your lance users, etc. One of the last features we have here is the arena. It allows you to do standard training, which can be done a few times in between battle, or you can do emblem training, which can increase your bond between allies and emblems, and that can be done as many resources as you have for that. That requires bond fragments. So as you see here, your main protagonist is going to fight with Marth, and you're going to spend the corresponding amount of bond fragments you'd like to level up their bond. I do not know the maximum bond level that you can have with any emblem, but it seems to be at a minimum of 10 levels, which is really awesome to see. As you can see, Marth absolutely destroyed my character and I lost, but for some reason it still lets you level up your bond, which is really awesome and gives you different bond effects, increased bond effects, and you can get different abilities and skills from this method. So that's a really awesome feature to be able to grind out, depending on how many bond fragments you store up. The last two features are the bulletin board and the ring chamber. Bulletin board allows you to do a new feature called donations, which if you level up your relationship with other countries by giving them money or giving them donations, you'll get different bounties, different effects, and allow you to get more battles in the overworld and higher level enemy battles to continue to grind your characters to higher levels. This will obviously be locked behind money, so it's going to be something you can do sparingly or use at your discretion in your playthroughs. Achievements and Somnium maps I'll go over later on in the future. Next up and lastly, we have the ring chamber, which you guys know most about, but just a little more footage on bond rings and such. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did and learned something new, feel free to drop a like or leave a comment down below. What's your guys' favorite feature coming to Fire Emblem Engage, and what's your least favorite thing that they have either changed or brought into this game? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you real soon. Peace.